Howdy, friends and neighbors. Old Doc here. Yeah, it's Sunday morning. We got Cowboy Bob on the radio here in the shed like always. We can't have music, because YouTube already spanked me over that once. Not that I get paid, so I don't really give a damn. Anyway, here's where we are so far. My time's really limited. I've just been busier than hell. But I got the quick tach thing kind of figured out. I'm going to bring the Bobcat over here in a minute and set the arms down in there, try to figure out where I need to bore my holes through for the pins. I need to come up with a flat plate on each side here to weld to this. Well, let me show you on this side so you can see the sun's to this for my pin to come down and lock into that hole on each side. This little flat piece and this little 3/4 inch angle, I just have them welded in there to hold them in place, or spacers if you will, for the time being, till I get the Bobcat up here and drop the arms down in the slots, figure out where my holes are going to be so they don't interfere with the pins down in there, and extend my cylinders, my tilt cylinders out, so I can tell where to bore the holes there. And if we don't have enough projects, you can see the tree's already turning here. We've been losing leaves for about a month, and that's because it's been so damn dry for the last 3 or 4 years. From what I can gather, we've had 5 or more inches of rain just this week. I don't know, that rain would have been nice this summer. The grass needs to be mowed again. I mowed ours and Mom's last weekend, but it really jumped here the last 2 days. I don't think I'm going to mow today. I'll do it next weekend. I'll mow ours again next weekend, and Mom's too. So, but yeah, we had torrential rain yesterday, and if you've never been in one of these buildings when it rains, let alone pea to marble size hail coming down with it, it's deafening. But it was raining so damn hard that I wasn't going to make for a break for the house. So anyway, I'm going to get the Bobcat fired up and pulled up here and drop the arms down in there, and I'll bring you back. Well, I don't know. We're still prototyping. I'm doing this so it's functional for me, and maybe you guys have other ideas, or it gives you an idea. I was afraid, I had planned on putting this down inside here. It was going to be really close, but when I measure, when these arms are all the way down and up against the front of the machine there, I know I'm not on concrete, level ground and all that, but I averaged between the two sides. I was pretty close, actually. 7.5 inches from the center of this hole in this lower arm to the ground on both sides. So at 7.5 inches, this would have been really tight because it tapers. You can see it tapers down. It would have been super tight. I may have had to spread that out, and it was going to rub on the inside back here. So I took these and I just have them tack welded with the little farmhand wire welder, if you can see it there. I've had that thing for years. it's flux core wire, or it came with a gauge, or not a gauge, but a deal you can hook gas up to it if you want to put a bottle on it. I've done that, but there's no way to control the gas. You have to turn the gas off and on, and it just flows gas constantly. It's a waste of gas. So I just stick to the flux core wire and do my light welding and tack stuff with that, and then anything big I get the tombstone linking out. But anyway, I digress, as they say. I tacked these on there. There's a little more room in here, and I got the center of the hole. I put the square pretty much with the bottom of the bucket, as much as it can be. The bottom is bowed on there, and measured out 7.5 inches to the center of my hole here. So the bottom of the, when these arms are back against the front of the machine there, the bottom of the bucket theoretically should be flat on the ground. So that's as far as I've gotten right now. I'm going to go in the house, get me some water, and do some more contemplating. When I come back out, I'm going to run these out, these tilt arms out, and see where I'm at with that. Hopefully I'm not too far away. I mean, if the bucket only tilts so far, that's pretty much vertical. You know, I mean, it is out this way a little bit, but if that's all the further it tilts without having to monkey with that, that's fine. If it's not, I'll do something with that too. But like I say, I'm just kind of fitting things up and seeing what's working and what isn't. You can see how the bucket is bowed there in the center. Just kind of fitting things up, tacking it, see what's going to happen and what's going to work and what isn't, and go from there. So anyway, yeah, I'm back to my reliable gas tank, portable gas tank, because I still haven't taken the time to check the pressure on that pump. So anyway, this is where we're at. I'm done rambling. I'm going to go in the house, get some water, see how long this video is. If it's going to be 20 minutes or so, I may just cut it off or try to do some editing, but we'll figure it out. Okay, now you can kind of get an idea, I think, what I'm going to be doing. Like I said, these two pieces, that little angle and this, they're just spacers for the time being. I'm going to cut that down and weld it in between these two plates here to hold that. And you can see I just got this laying down on there. When I take this top brace off, I'm going to I don't know if you can, those two square plates up there, I'm going to take right there, I guess. My finger was covering it. I'm going to weld those on the end, and then I'm going to weld those square plates back onto here, and then I'm going to weld this bracket onto those plates. I think I'm going to, before I weld these to those plates that I'm going to put back on here, I think I'm going to retract those bucket arms, the tilt arms, just a little bit, so maybe not a whole lot, but retract them a little bit, so I'm sure to be at least vertical, if not a little past center, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that's that. Now I'm going to show you, I think I'm going to end it here, friends and neighbors. I'll continue. I'm really pressed for time. Oh, damn it, I locked the shed. Well, I got my keys. I was going to show you a quick glimpse of the next project. Hold on. Well, there you go. There's the next two projects. A Saks Foxy, and I looked at the deal. I believe that's a 1977 Saks. That's an Austria-made tach, I guess they're pronounced. P-U-C-K. And my dad found those, and I'm going to try to get them running for my grandkids, his great-grandkids. And hopefully it doesn't take a whole lot to get them going. The guy that had them, he couldn't remember if they ran or not when he put them in the barn. So I'm going to see if I can get them running. I think the grandkids will have a lot of fun with them. So, and my dad's great-grandkids. So that's going to be the next project. I'm going to keep that video if you guys are interested. I know nothing about them. Absolutely nothing, other than that one's kind of a grayish color and this is robin egg blue or whatever in the hell. That's all I know. But I think they'll be a lot of fun to tinker with. Hopefully they'll run so the grandkids can enjoy them. That's for later on. I want to get this bucket on the Bobcat thing done first, and so it's ready for this winter. I got a lot of Mickey Mouse things to do other than the bucket. I still haven't checked the pressure on that electric fuel pump. I have to get an alternator on there because there's no alternator, and I have to get an alternator or a generator to put on. I'd rather have an alternator. And I don't know what I'm going to use for an alternator. I don't know if I'm going to use a Delco one wire or something else. So it's charging the battery. That battery's no good. That's actually an old battery that came out of Penny's car. But from what I understand, the generator is supposed to bolt down there. And there you can maybe see the pulleys. That's where it's supposed to run off those pulleys. So we got a lot of odd and end things to do to this. Get it ready for winter to move snow. I have some big hinge material. If you can see this, I'm going to put it on the front of the seat. There. I'm going to put it on the front of the seat and bolt it so a guy can just flip the seat forward to get down to work on the engine instead of lift that heavy. That's not original by any means. It's somebody prior to me owned it, made that seat. It's heavy. So I'm just going to put hinge on the front so we can flip the seat forward to get to the engine. And so yeah, if I'd like to get the gauges working. I believe this is the engine oil pressure gauge, and as far as I know, that's the only one that works. I don't even know if the hour meter works. I should write the number down and check it sometime. Not that I've run it that long. But yeah, I want to, but those aren't really pressing as far as the gauges go. But I'd like to get them going. But yeah, I don't have enough things to do, so I took on another project. But that's for the grandkids. So anyway, stick around. And you know, like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Yeah, it's not a factory pretty, you know, I'm going to take it to the folks and introduce it to mom and dad type deal. I don't care, as long as it works. As long as it works, that's all I give a hoot about. Pretty, I'm not particular as far as that goes on here yet. So with that, friends and neighbors, I'm going to close this one out and close doors and shut lights off and things, put some tools away, And be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Do something kind for a friend, a stranger, or a loved one. And I love that. We all should. Happy trails, friends and neighbors.